Did you know that stress hormones can make you shed more hair weeks or even months after a stressful event? If your hair is falling out and you can't quite figure out why, cortisol might be the missing link. Welcome to Flip the Script. I'm Dr. Lee, and today we are diving into a powerful connection you may not have heard of before: how elevated cortisol, the body's main stress hormone, can directly impact your hair health. In this video, we will be discussing how cortisol affects the hair growth cycle, why elevated cortisol starves the scalp and increases inflammation, and how to lower cortisol naturally and support hair recovery. Have you ever gone through a stressful time and then noticed clumps of hair falling out a few months later? Drop a comment if that's happened to you. I'd love to hear your experience. Let's start with how cortisol actually affects your hair cycle. Normally, about 85 to 90% of your hair is in a growing phase called anagen. But when cortisol stays high for too long, whether from emotional stress, illness, or even poor sleep, your body shifts more hairs into the resting phase called telogen. This means that those hairs stop growing earlier than they should. And here's the kicker: you won't see the hair fall out right away. It takes about 2 to 3 months for those resting hairs to shed. That's why you might feel fine today, but see clumps in the shower weeks later. This is called telogen effluvium, and it's one of the most common types of stress-related hair loss. But the good news? It's usually reversible, but only if we address the root cause. Which brings me to my next question. What is cortisol really doing inside your body beyond shifting your hair cycles, and how does it quietly damage your scalp health? Well, let's talk about that. Cortisol doesn't just mess with the timing of your hair cycles, it actually impacts the environment that your hair is growing in. Here's what happens. Elevated cortisol constricts blood vessels, reducing blood flow to the scalp. Less blood flow means fewer nutrients and less oxygen reaching your hair follicles. Imagine trying to grow a garden but cutting off the water and reducing the fertilizer. The soil dries up and eventually the plants wither. Cortisol also increases systemic inflammation, which can affect the scalp's health and even trigger inflammatory hair loss conditions in sensitive individuals. And if you're dealing with an autoimmune hair loss condition, well, elevated cortisol can worsen the immune response, making it harder for follicles to recover. That is why managing stress and lowering cortisol isn't just good for your mood, it is critical for your hair. But here's what most people miss. You can't just pop a supplement or slather on a fancy serum to help fix cortisol-driven hair loss. You have to address cortisol holistically. That means body, mind, and spirit. So what can you start doing today to lower cortisol naturally and support your hair? Well, let's get into that. The first step to lowering cortisol is restoring balance to your nervous system. One of the simplest and most often overlooked tools: sleep. Prioritizing about 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep every night helps lower cortisol naturally and gives your hair the best chance to recover. Second, fuel your body with anti-inflammatory, nutrient-rich foods. Omega-3s, leafy greens, berries, and healthy fats can help reduce inflammation and support hormone balance. Third, try relaxation practices that engage your faith and restore your nervous system. Whether it's prayer, deep breathing, gentle movement, or worship music, intentionally creating calm in your day literally tells your brain, it's okay, we're safe, everything's all good. And this message actually helps turn down that cortisol faucet. Finally, be kind to your hair while it's trying to recover. Avoid tight hairstyles, harsh heat, and chemical-heavy products. Use natural, gentle shampoos and nourishing oils like argan or jojoba on the ends to help protect fragile strands. Hair loss from stress can feel scary, but your body is actually designed to heal once we remove those roadblocks. Have you tried any natural ways to help lower your stress or support your hair? Please share in the comments below what your experience has been and what's worked well for you. Isn't it wild how much stress can silently impact your hair, as well as your other aspects of health? But the best part is you've already learned powerful ways to flip the script and start healing from the inside out. But don't stop here. Click the next video popping up on your screen because we are diving even deeper into how your body works with you to restore balance. I'll meet you in the next video.